Hi, MJ. First, I want to
Hi.
say thank you so much. I want to say a big thank you to you. I'm honored and humbled that you accept to do this. Thank you so much. And I know how tight, how busy you are. It's not easy being a nurse in the UK. So thank you so much for agreeing to this. So, guys, I have my guest right here, MJ. She's going to start with a brief introduction of herself. I have a few questions for her, and we will get right into it. So, after you do the introduction, I want us to do. You've worked in Nigeria as a nurse before coming to the United Kingdom.
Absolutely.
Yeah. So you are going to give us like a 5 minute honest comparison. Don't be biased between working as a nurse in Nigeria and in the UK before we now go into today's, so that everybody can know the essence of the essence rather of this, IG life, to understand, the importance why we are doing, IG lives like this. So thank you so much, MJ. Introduction, then 5 minutes, comparison, and then we'll get right into it. Thank you so much.
Okay. Hi, everyone. My name is MJ. Well, that's what most people call me, MJ, because that's easier for everyone. Yeah. I'm a registered nurse from Nigeria. That's where I trained for coming to the UK. Yeah, and I practiced in Nigeria for I think about 8 years.
Wow.
About six to 8 years.
Wow.
As a registered nurse before finally I think 2014. Let me not say it wrongly. I finished in 2014, so 15, 16, 17, 18, 19. Oh, sorry, just about 5-6 years actually. Yeah, so
it's a long time still.
Before migrating to the United Kingdom as a registered nurse. So when I finished my period, I also did a postgraduate course, which is a specialty course in theater nursing. It's called perioperative nursing, but most people call it theater nursing. Okay, so I did that for about a year or 6 months or so, and before I then started my journey down to the United Kingdom. Okay, so I want to say something very quick, and just to make a point, because a lot of people keep asking me if they can migrate to the UK with a diploma, and I keep telling people that absolutely you can go to the UK, you can go to the United States with a diploma in nursing. So I had a diploma in nursing back in Nigeria, and then a diploma in theater nursing also back in Nigeria. I'm just currently still studying as a perioperative nurse, perioperative practice. I'm currently studying my trying to get my BSc in perioperative practice in UK. So I'm just doing that part-time with work. Okay, so I got to the UK in 2019, I think, and I've been practicing since I got in with the
Oh my God, network. Hello guys, can you guys hear me? Or it's my own network? Please, I need to know if you can hear me, because I can't hear MJ anymore. I pray this is not my network. Oh my God, can you hear me? Oh, I think it's MJ's network. So sorry about that. I'm going to add her back quickly. So sorry about that, guys. So sorry. Oh, fantastic. You guys can hear me then. Okay, she's back.
Oh my God. What
So
happened?
sorry.
I just lost
network. Yeah, sorry.
It's not my network. I'm not in Nigeria.
Glow. It's your glow line.
I am so sorry. I don't know what's going on. It's like my village people are after me tonight.
But we can hear you clearly. They didn't get to you. We can hear you now.
Okay, so what was I talking about? I think I was talking about
the nursing background. Yes, the diploma in nursing.
Yeah.
And you're just doing the BSc currently in the UK part-time. I'm following.
Yeah, good. So in the UK, I got to the UK like 2019, and since then I've been practicing as a theatre nurse with the NHS. Okay, and last year I became a Band 6 theatre nurse in the NHS. So I think going to you telling me to make a comparison, I think I can start with that. I think the first thing I noticed when I practiced in Nigeria, one thing that made me to actually tell myself that, okay, enough is enough. I need to leave this country, because I'm someone that I'm always about my country. We can make it great. We can, not in Nigeria. Oh my God. I'm always like, we can fight. We can do this. I'm proud to be a nurse. I'm this. But I just realized as a theater nurse, as a theater student nurse, yeah, I realized that it looks like we have a long way to go. So because that day we were in the theater, and I've said this several times for those that might have listened to me like several times, yeah, we were in the theater operating, and you cannot believe that when the power went off, they were using a lamp in the theater.
Like for real, or in African magic movies. Because I need to know.
In Lutz.
For real.
It was in Lutz. I did my peri-op in Lutz. Yeah, and it was in Lutz. And they were using, I'm like, I told myself, I'm sorry, I cannot continue in this country. So one of the things that I'll say is a difference between, and then coming to the UK, I saw a lot of things. Maybe I think it differs from trust to trust, but the first trust I worked with when I got to the UK was fantastic. Like, I saw a lot of things done so well, and I'm like, can things really be this perfect? I remember we went for a training, and they were saying, although the UK is still so behind, we are still trying to get better. And I'm like, we are still trying to get
not where I come from.
Like, you are still trying to get better. Are you for real with this? What you have is gold standard. That was at that time, because I could not believe that things could actually work. And then, so the practice generally back home, although when I started working, I worked more with private hospitals that were walking. I worked with Ikoyi, what's it called? What's the name of this hospital? Lagoon Hospital in Ikoyi, and I also worked in the private hospital in Victoria Island, right? That things were really working in there. But with the government sector, it was just not nice. So working in another government sector, because of course NHS is the government sector, right? So working in NHS just gave me that insight into a lot of things, and I said, wow, I think a lot of nurses need to actually leave my country and see how things are done and how things should actually be done. So when you're a nurse in Nigeria, you really don't feel that, you don't feel the purpose of being a nurse. You don't really feel it, because your patients are not getting the right care that they deserve. You feel so sad about all that kind of situation. So that kind of thing should be something to motivate you to want to leave the country.
And be fulfilled. Like, yes,
Do you understand? This is one thing. Although a lot of nurses that are in the UK now from Nigeria, they complain to me, oh my God, you guys didn't say it's so busy. You guys didn't say this, but trust me, I feel fulfilled as a nurse. Doing this kind of things, the procedures, you feel like a nurse. You are recognized, you're respected by some, of course disrespected by others, yeah, but you're still respected by some for what you do. You do a lot of things. A lot of Nigerian nurses are trained to do so much as student nurses, but become staff nurses and they cannot do nothing. So what's the point of all of those things that you train them to do as students? When you learn on the job, you understand? So you need to let them do it as staff, but you don't let them do it. So these kind of things are one of the reasons I always give nurses. Don't think about the money. The money in the UK is not so much when you think about it, honestly. But think about, do you have passion for this profession? Think about the things you can do for yourself as a professional, as a nurse in another country. Gain that exposure, gain that international exposure and recognition. And you can then take that back as a loyal Nigerian nurse that you are, and take it back to your country and fix things. The more, and I'm so happy that many of us are now, in fact, the UK now looks like an annex of Nigeria. It's like, it's like Nigeria is training Nigerian nurses for the UK. So for me, the exposure is great. And then career progression. I mentioned something that I came into the UK 2019, I became a band 6 last year. I have seen people come into the UK and they became band 6 in 6 months. Some even less. The career progression is great. The hospital gives you a lot of support with training, with taking professional advancement courses. You know, all of this.
Nobody
Your hospital,
sit down.
your hospital can also sponsor you. So if you have a diploma, your hospital can sponsor you 100% to do your degree. If you get what I mean. So these kind of things are not available back home. Every time you have to take trainings online, trainings on the hospital website to keep updating yourself every day, because things keeps changing. Some nurses cannot even do an ordinary ECG in Nigeria. Do they even have it to start with? Some nurses cannot even do basic life. They cannot provide basic life support. They have to, go to private hospitals or private providers to take the training, which is something that is basic. It is basic. Every nurse should know about basic life support. That's why it's basic. So if you really want to enjoy the nursing and that part of nursing, you want to feel like a nurse. Someone said what some nurses do is they take temperature. Is that not what they do? And I'm like, come to think of it, is that really not what they do? Because they don't allow them to really function. And then you go to your night shift, you come back and write calm shift spent, patients alive, patients slept well, patient and staff patient and staff slept well, a calm shift spent, which is really not what nursing is about. So nursing is evolving, things are changing, but it seems like nursing in Nigeria is stagnant.
Wow.
And as a nurse, if the government will not do anything for you, you need to do something for yourself. Strive for international exposure, guys. There are a lot of countries out there. It doesn't have to be the UK, but you will be doing yourself a lot of good. And your career, that profession that you cherish so much, you will be doing it a lot of good by really living that country.
Wow, thank you so much. In fact, you've answered my next question, because I was about to tell us your story and your journey into nursing, but you've already explained. You've explained that. So how did you get into the UK? Like, you've told us what motivated you, but the processing, how did you go about it?
Yeah, this is something that even people that are not even nurses, I believe that at this point they should be able to recite it like a poem, because we've said it over and over again. I'm even bored of talking about it because it feels like I've talked about it so much. So coming to the UK, I think the first thing I would like to tell everyone is that you need to be ready to search for information. Be ready to do it. And luckily for you guys, a lot of information are out there now. I mean, information is everywhere. If you look to the right, it's information. In fact, information is now too much that if you're not careful, you even go with the wrong information. Yeah, so the first thing for me then, maybe I was not really a social media person. Maybe I don't really use social media that much because I've always been busy all my life, and I could not see a lot of information out there. So for me, all I did then when I was ready to relocate out of Nigeria, I didn't even know which country just yet. That day I opened more than 12 tabs looking for how to migrate to Canada, how to migrate to the UK, how to migrate to the US, how to migrate to a lot of countries. I just wanted to live anywhere I wanted to go, like now. So when I went to Google. So be ready to search. Don't just use your data to just do things that do not have value to you. Do things that really add value to you. So I searched on Google and I stumbled on the NMC's website. And that was where I saw all of the checklists that was needed. Okay, so I think that's what I'll start with. I'm just trying to open a file.
Okay. You came prepared, guys. Like, this one is not. I'm thinking this is fact and direct.
Oh God, I was supposed to open this file earlier. Okay, I found it. Oh, okay. Yeah, so yeah, I'm going to just start on. I don't want to give anybody any wrong information because things keeps changing, information keeps the NMC keeps updating things, and what I did like a few years ago might just not be obtainable anymore, right? So the first thing I always tell people is that be ready to get information, be ready to search. And if you're on this live and you don't even have an international passport, please just exit, because this is not for you. I did not believe that at this point, 2022, you don't have a passport. I'm not really gonna blame people because I didn't get my passport until 2017, you know. And I just kept holding it. I said, one day I'm gonna use you, you know. So if you don't have a passport, just leave this life because this is not for you. This is for people who are ready to, you know, move and live. So the first very important thing you need to get is your international passport. So sorry, Yeti, I might not be able to. Is it Yeti or Yeti? I want to be Yeti. Yeah, so I want to say that you might not be able to, you know, talk about this like in depth, like every step, you know.
But let them
because of time. Yeah, because of time. But I do, of course, I think that's one part of me I forgot to introduce. I do have a YouTube channel. Okay, I have a YouTube channel where like 90% of what I share on that channel is about nursing. It's about nursing, how to migrate to the UK as a nurse, US, Canada, New Zealand, Qatar.
Well, so just
Qatar, everything nursing. How to get a job, how to prepare for your interview, the interview questions that you might see, hospitals recruiting. 90% of what I do on my YouTube channel is for nurses. So that is one place you should also start from. So if you joined us on this live late and you don't get to catch some information, just go and watch the video on my YouTube. Everything you want is there. And then if you have any question after, I can then respond to the questions. So the first thing is for you to get an international passport. I think you said something the other time and said you can come to the UK for free. Right? And I said they'll pay you.
My friend came in as a nurse. Everything was paid for her.
Absolutely. And that is absolutely correct. You can come to the United Kingdom without of course, you will have to do some runarounds for yourself. Maybe you're going to get this document.
Passport where you're going to do your passport, or they'll pay for your passport. But every other major thing sorted for.
Of course. So most of the basic things that you need to get yourself into the UK, you will get it. Your employer will sort it. Some of them will say they want you to get to the UK and then they will reimburse you. Okay, but you get almost all of your money back. When I came in, my employer paid for everything when I go back. I didn't pay. The only thing I did was, you know, for my exams, you know, for going to get documents, blah, 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 blah. Accommodation for 3 months. Very nice, serviced accommodation. That all I did was just wake up and cook and eat. They come and clean. They come and do everything.
Wow.
2-bedroom flat. I had just one flatmate. For 3 months, I was enjoying like a queen. Everything, all of that. Yeah, all of that was provided, but relocation packages differ. What's in your relocation package might be different from mine, you know, understand? So it differs based on the employers, right? So let's go back to the steps. So the first step is that you need to get your international passport, and this is for registered nurses also. You need to be a registered nurse, have a valid practicing license. Okay, you don't have to have a degree. All you need is a valid practicing license, and once you have that, you can start your process. Okay, so the NMC has their own requirements also for these whole steps. Okay, and one of that requirement is English language test, but you can get a waiver, and I'm going to explain that now. So NMC is either their eligibility, or let me say their English language preference, or whatever they want for their English. So for you to prove your English proficiency, you can either take OET or IELTS, right? So either you take OET or IELTS to prove your English, or if you're from an English-speaking country, or if you've practiced in an English-speaking country or lived in an English-speaking country for more than 12 months, right? You do not need to sit for English language test or OET, IELTS, anyone at all. All you need to do, because I've got friends who came from Trinidad and Tobago, came from Bermuda, some countries that the UK recognizes as English-speaking countries. They did not have to take any English language test. Or even though they practice, they were trained in Nigeria, right? So all they had to do was get an evidence from their employer that, you know, they practice in that hospital, they were able to communicate with patients, blah, 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 in English. That's how most of them are to prepare. And then the other waiver is that you can prove to NMC UK that you were taught and examined in English language. Okay, but this particular part, it's not 100%. They might decide to, accept that evidence, or say they're not gonna accept it. They still want you to take English language test, but it is worth trying. So if you're someone that you've written IELTS maybe like 3-4 times, you can try it. It worked for some people and it didn't work for some people. And for this one, you have to have a degree in nursing. You have to have a degree that you was taught in about 4 to 5 years for you to provide the proof that you were taught and you practiced examined also in English language during your studies. Okay, and usually the service that people use for this one is UK NARIC. It used to be called UK NARIC, but it's now ENIC, I think. And I have a video on that on my YouTube channel. Okay, so the first thing we're going to prove is you're going to prove your English proficiency to NMC. Okay, every requirement that you need to submit to NMC, all you have to do now is, let me look for their website, www.nmc.org.uk. I think that's their website, right? So all you have to do now, even if you don't get the website, like I said earlier, every information about that is on my YouTube channel. So all you have to do, go to Google now and search for Nursing and Midwifery Council UK, and it will pop up, and you'll see the link for you to register as an overseas nurse or an overseas midwife. So I mentioned midwife, even though we're talking about nurses, but it's also for midwives. Okay, everybody. So with the UK, you can either register as a midwife, register as a nurse, register as a learning and disability nurse. So adult nurse, midwife, learning and disability nurse, mental health nurse, and pediatric nurses. So these 5 have their own separate objective structured clinical examination and CBT, which is the test of competence 1 and then the test of competence 2. So objective structured clinical examination is a test of competence 2. Why CBT, that everybody says CBT is basically computer-based test, right? Is the test of competence 1. So if you're a midwife, your own is different. Your registration is different. So if you're a midwife, you won't be registering as a nurse, okay? Except you want to practice as a nurse and you have the qualification that they need for nurses. So you can register as a midwife if you're a midwife. You can register as an adult nurse, which is what most people register as. Register as a mental health nurse. In fact, mental health nurse, they are hotcakes in the UK. You can register as a pediatric nurse. So you have to be sure that you're starting the right registration, which is the most important part of the whole process. Okay, because the more you make mistakes, the more your registration will be delayed. So once you go to NMC, you send them all of the required documents and wait for your documents to be verified. Okay, so at every step that you've provided what they need, they keep ticking it and let you know what is left. You can also keep getting in touch with them if they're taking long to verify your documents and all of that. Another thing that will take your time, but it doesn't take so much time anymore, is verification of your license. And this is from your own council. So with your nursing council, if your nursing council is delaying, you have to start something quickly so that you can make things faster for yourself. Someone asked one time and said that, will you advise me to start the process? No, what was the question? Will you advise me to take IELTS before applying for jobs or something? All I'm saying is follow these things by steps to save yourself money, to save yourself stress and worries. Honestly, these exams are valid for, I think, 2 years. So your registration will be open as far as your exams are still valid within that 2 years. Your registration will still be open. So it's better for you to go through things step by step, because if you start a registration and you're not even sure if you're going to pass English language test, what if you don't pass it? We're all being optimistic, but what if you don't?
Yeah.
You understand? People sit for IELTS like several times. So once you submit all of your documents to NMC UK, everything that they've requested. This step-by-step video, don't forget, is on my YouTube channel and they can watch it. My YouTube channel is simply Nosemj TV. If you put Nosemj, it's gonna just pop up, and my link is also on my bio if you just, to make it faster. So once you submit all of your documents, right, at a stage, you will be invited to, take your first test of competence. So NMC you will need to register with Pearsonville, purchase the order for your CBT, sit for your CBT. Once you pass your CBT, you continue with the rest of your registration with NMC. And once all of your documents is registered, you have to pay the registration fee. Once you make a registration fee, NMC will then give you a temporary PIN, something like a temporary PIN that you can use to. So when you're applying for jobs, they'll say, do you have a registration with NMC UK? Do you have a PIN? That is your PIN. You get a temporary PIN for you to apply for jobs. Okay, so once you're done with all of that registration and to start applying for jobs are, I think it has become one of the most challenging thing for nurses now. But trust me, nurses are still. I still got a message from someone today that does not know which hospital to pick. I know people that have come into the UK in the past 1 week. So people are still getting offers. And regarding this, I recently shared a thread on Twitter, and I also have a video on YouTube where I shared about 23 hospitals. But on Twitter, I have the tweet pinned on my Twitter. My Twitter is ProudNosemj. Yeah, I think that's my Twitter, ProudNosemj. And I have the tweet pinned on it of about 30 hospitals that are currently recruiting. Okay, 30 hospitals, and a lot of websites where you can get jobs from now. You can get jobs on talent.com, you can get on track.jobs, you can get on indeed.com, you can get on Nurse Plus, a whole lot of websites. And I think I mentioned some of those websites, and I still share videos on my reel about these websites. Okay, so when you want to apply for jobs, because it has become really challenging now, you need to do things right. And that's why I keep sharing videos all the time. You need to keep getting things right, because you don't want to get an interview slot and then miss that chance. Some people don't even get an interview slot.
You're right.
So for you to get that interview slot at all, for them to even take a look at your application, you need to do things right. And I always tell people, everything that you need to have a successful application is usually on that the vacancy that they've announced. The post that has been announced, the vacancy, the job requirements, the person specification, everything they are looking out for, everything is always there. Some online application, they ask you for a supporting statement, right? And the supporting statement, a lot of people don't get it right. It's important that you put in some words in the supporting statement. The computer is already set in a way that if they don't pick some words, they will not shortlist you for an interview. Yeah. So it's really very important that you write a supporting statement in such a way that you will get selected for that interview. It is too competitive out there for you to just dump anything on anyone. So it's either you apply to hospitals directly or you apply to them online. So if you want to apply to hospitals directly, for instance, I gave a list of hospitals that are currently recruiting. I just gave a list of the hospitals. I did not give a website, right?
Yeah.
So that means you need to go search for the name of that hospital, search for them on Google. When you search for them, there's always a part where they'll say, work with us, or, vacancies at this hospital, apply this, apply that. And you click on there. On that site, you will get the email address for the HR or the recruitment team. That's all you need, though. That is all you need to actually apply to that hospital directly. Let them know you want to work with them. And how do you do this? What should you put in that application? You need to treat that email like a job application. So every document you're sending, every information you're providing in that email has to be valid, and everything has to have your name. You cannot be attaching a CV that the name on it is maybe ABCD 1 2 3 4, right? So you have to rename it to actually be your own name. So how to actually do it right by applying directly to hospitals, I have a video that talks in depth about that. Someone made a comment recently and said, this is a video that I did not know that I needed, but I needed. And that's video, I've made that video over how many months ago, and that was about how to apply successfully, how to successfully apply for jobs in the UK. You need to see it. Now, once you get a job, congratulations. All you have to do now is to look at the offers. Which one do you want? Are you okay? Are you happy with this? Is there something you're not happy with? What do you need to look for in every offer? Because trust me, Yetis, people have signed contracts that has want to end their life. Honestly, that they cannot even say. That's why when you say that something is free, people will not believe you, because they are paying a lot from their salary because they have signed a contract that they shouldn't have signed. So it's really important that you know what to look out for in that contract before you sign it. Not many people know this, and a lot of people ask me that question. I'm like, you should know, but they don't. So I had to make a video. You will be surprised the kind of things I make videos on. You people should know now. They don't know, right? So I had to make a video on that, knowing what you should even look out for in a typical band 5 nurse job contract. So once you get a job contract, the next thing for us now is to apply for a work visa. That's the next thing for us. Apply for a work visa. Applying for a work visa is usually done by your employer, actually, because of course they're sponsoring it. Well, for me, I didn't have to apply. So I think they sent me a link, and then that link just made it easier for me.
Yeah,
and it's my employer that paid for the application, and they also paid for the visa itself. Everything was paid for by them. Okay, so you apply for your visa, and now it's called Health and Social Care Visa. I think it was skilled worker visa when I applied. Yeah, but it's tier 2 visa, but it's called, I think, Health and Social Care Visa now that you have to apply for. Now, to apply for your visa, your employer needs to give you a certificate of sponsorship. And this is what everybody keeps talking about: certificate of sponsorship, certificate of sponsorship.
Yes.
You need COS. So you need a certificate of sponsorship for you to be able to apply for that kind of visa, for that kind of work visa. And trust me, this visa has a lot of benefits.
Honestly.
It has a whole lot of benefits. As a nurse in the UK, you can come with your family. Your children get to go to school for free, up to high school. Do you understand what that means?
4 to 16.
Do you understand what that means? Like, you're giving them a good value of life. I'm not going to say that the UK is perfect, but please, if where you're going to is better than where you're coming from, you need to move. Like, move. And when people complain these days that, oh, these things are not easy, it's difficult, it's this. Good things don't come easy. So you have to pay the price. Honestly, you have to pay the price. So when you think about all of the things, all of the benefits you will get, your family, your children, then it will motivate you to want to actually do it. It will give you that motivation. So that should be your motivation. My motivation, I was the first child, and my motivation was my siblings. My goodness, I have to give them a lot of money. Every month I have to send a lot of money. You have no freaking idea, right? And I said, God, just help me. Even with the little I was earning back in Nigeria, I still had to send a lot of money home. I have been sending money home since I started working as a nurse. God, I have been sending. So that's really, I'm like, God, please, can you do this for me? Like, I need to do better. I need to give them this. That was my motivation. So you need to have something pushing you. And and again, don't wait for the right time, because the right time will never come. That time I was working, I was studying, I was in school then, I was studying, and I was still a businesswoman. I used to bake. I used to bake even in the UK. I just had to stop because I got too busy. I'm like, okay, something needs to go for now, right? So combining all of that together and then preparing for exams was really challenging. But you cannot wait for the perfect time because it will never come. You just realize that time is going. It will never come. So once you have your visa, of course, you got your COS, you apply for your visa. Once you get your visa, to apply for your family is literally is simple. Okay, it's on the same gov.uk website that you need to apply for your family. All they need, what they really need is that COS. They need your COS for them to also apply. So you are going to apply for them separately, but they need your COS. And then I think they will get a unique number. Blah, blah,
Yeah,
blah,
then they also have your GWF number as well.
Yeah. So that is basically that one. So applying for your family is not is easy. And when you get to the UK, I always advise, if you have a family, if you can do it, come into the UK first, pass your objective structured clinical exam, which is OSCE. You know, it gives you, coming alone gives you that focus. You can get in settled before your family comes in. You can focus on passing your exam, because if you don't, that exam is expensive, Yeti. That exam, coming to the UK is actually expensive. We're just really lucky and blessed by the UK government. Honestly, it is expensive. If you have to spend the money on your own, it is very expensive. And people think a lot of people are coming to the UK because they are paying us a lot of money. No, people are coming because they get most of these things for free, because we are getting sponsored. We're getting sponsored, and I think the UK is the fastest. You can get into the UK as a nurse now in less than 4 months.
Wow.
Of your whole process. Before it used to be like 6 months. But things are getting really faster, although things are getting tougher, but it's getting really faster now, right? And you can be in the UK for like 4 months. Within 4 months, you can be in the UK, right? So it's really just important that you get things right. Once you have your visa, the next thing is for them to book your flights, and you're on your way to the UK. So if you're booking your flight on your own, you can use booking.com. That's where usually people get the best flights, or you can directly book with the airline, because if anything happens and it gets cancelled, you're definitely going to get your money back if you book directly with the airline. And sometimes the employer make the booking. My own did the booking, so I didn't even really have to worry.
It was stressed.
It was a baby girl treatment that time. Yeah, and in the UK you get to earn an average of 35k pounds. I made a video and people said it's a lie. It's not that the average is not 35k. When we talk about average, you can decide to work with government. You can work with, which is the NHS. You can work with private hospitals. You can work with the care homes. It's your choice. For me, I always advise that nurses move with NHS. And you know why?
Why?
Because with NHS, NHS gives them, most NHS, I haven't really heard any bad reports. Most NHS, when you're coming in newly, they give you everything that you need to actually settle in.
Wow.
Yeah. During my OSCE, when they were preparing, your hospital will prepare you. Ideally, your hospital should prepare you for that exam. Yeah. Okay. So during my own time, the hospital prepared us.
That OSCE is to get you registered in the UK, right?
That OSCE is the second exam that you need to take in the UK when you get to the UK. And that's the final exam for you to be registered with NMC UK as their nurse. You understand? So we had to take a training, and this training was, I think mine was about a week or two, right? And we were getting paid while not going to work.
Wow.
That was our work. Our work was to pass the exam. We were still getting paid. Not many private hospitals do that. Most of them push them to the ward, make them work, and the only time they get off is when they need to go for their training. Some even have to do the readings by themselves, which is not fair. And this is one of the reasons why, this is something that I have noticed with mostly private and care homes. So this is one of the reasons why I always recommend NHS. And again, you're coming from a country that you literally don't really know anything. Not that you don't know anything, but you have not really practiced in the real nursing environment. Yeah. Coming to the NHS, we give you that experience. And with that experience, before 6 months, you already know what you're doing. right? You practice first as a supernumerary. They'll train you, show you how things are done, so you'll be observing, and then someone will be supervising you for some period of time, and then before you now start doing things by yourself, okay? And then once you know about things yourself, you can start thinking about agency. The reason why we want to make extra money is because I want to be able to afford a trip to Turkey,
The last trip, baby girl.
Yeah. I want to buy extra things. Someone said something and said, for nurses, if you want to buy a Louboutin bag, how many shifts do you have to do? I want to save my salary and spend the extras.
Yeah.
This is the reason why people want to have side hustle, people want to do agency. So with NHS, you can quickly, integrate yourself into an agency nurse and make more money. As an agent, when I was working, you cannot work full time as an agency nurse, but I don't do bank shifts on my own hospital. I do agency as a theater nurse. The least I was earning per hour was £45.
Per hour?
Least per hour, yeah. Was £45, and you can earn as high as £75 with my own level of experience then. Now, if I go back, on a Christmas day, we were paid £85 per hour.
Wow.
On a Christmas day, £85 per hour. With your level of experience, your exposure, your qualification, you can bargain, you can negotiate your offer.
Yes.
These are things that we didn't know we could do.
Yes.
Yeah, so you can negotiate. You can tell them, I know this, I can do this. I cannot want to start agency again now and you offer me £60. Are you okay? Do you know how much of experience I have? You understand? And they want you. Nurses are wanted everywhere. So this is where I'm going to stop my transaction, and for you to actually get the full in there, because it's a lot of things to discuss. Everything step by step, how I did it. I have the full video on my YouTube channel. That is where you should start your nursing journey from. If you're a nurse and you're not subscribed to my YouTube channel, you're wrong.
You're wrong. You are wrong. Wow, thank you so much, Emily.
Wrong.
You've answered all the questions I have listed. There's no point for me to go there. All I just want to do is please give us like 5-10 minutes of your time to read, through questions that people have been asking. One that caught my attention was someone asking if a retired Nigerian nurse can apply to come to the UK.
Of course.
Wow.
If you are 60, in fact, if you are using walking stick.
As long as you can walk, wow.
There is no age limit. Something happened during COVID. We realized that nothing is impossible.
Wow.
Nurses were being begged who had retired, who had stopped working like almost 5-10 years. Wow. MNC was sending them message, begging them to come back and register, back to the register. They had resigned, right? I know a nurse, I worked with her. That woman should be nothing less than 65 years old because she's like this. We don't even really want to let her scrub, but she always wants to scrub because she's been out of work for a long time. So she always wants to scrub, right? There's no age limit. As long as you can study and go through the whole process of registration, you're good. And all you need to do is prove to your employer during your interview that you've still got it in you.
Yeah.
And
okay, somebody asking, how about auxiliary nurse? Can we work as a registered nurse?
Yeah, if you go back to school. If you go back to school and get the necessary registration as a registered nurse, you can work as a registered nurse. If you don't have that registration and you think that, and you still want to come to the UK, no problem. You can now come to the UK as a carer. Yeah. Like the UK, because of Brexit, and everything, a lot of people are going back to their countries. COVID has made a lot of people see that they need to go back home and enjoy their family. You can now migrate as a carer. Everything. In fact, if you don't have any education at all, if all you have is SSC, you can come to the UK as a carer. Everything you need to know about that process, the step-by-step guide to coming in, how anyone can become a carer, a support worker in the UK, is on my YouTube channel. That is where you should start from. Honestly, that video, I took my time, everything, up until when you get to the UK, and even how to bring your family is in that video. So yes, absolutely. And then when you get to the UK, your employer can support you to do that nursing that you really have the passion for.
Okay.
They can sponsor you full time.
Every last question, because there are lots of questions, but I feel like if they go back to watch this live, they will find the answer there. But this one caught my attention because the person said, I have written my RN exam, but I'm in 500 level. As it is now, studies has been crippled because of ASU strike, something you never experienced in UK, by the way. What do you think I should do to start my migration process?
It's so sad, right?
Yeah.
One of my sisters is currently affected by this same ASU. I'm so hungry. I'm sorry that you have to go through that, but unfortunately, you need to have your registration, because the most important part of this whole process is a valid practicing license. Okay, that is the most important part of everything. If you have a valid practicing license, then you're good. But you need to finish your studies, of course. You still need to finish your studies. And then I'll advise you that you start preparing for IELTS now. Start preparing for the English language test. That should be your first step now. Start reading, start preparing. That exam is valid for 2 years. Okay, so don't worry about it. Start from there. And I really wish you the best, because really,
it's so frustrating. And it's so annoying because they're spending money on elections campaigning, and people are at home wasting their lives, and all their kids are studying. How reasonable?
So it's so
so sad. I'm so sorry.
Someone say your YouTube handle, please. It's NosMJ. NosMJ TV. The link is on my bio. Check my bio, and the link tree on my bio will take you to my YouTube channel. Everything that I think MJ has really tried for us. I begged her for 30 minutes, and we 51 minutes of her time, and she ends per hour. She told me how much, and I'm not paying, so please don't let me pass my boundary. I just want to thank you. I appreciate your work. I appreciate things you do for nurses. If you go to our Instagram handle, oh my God, so many information that you cannot even consume in a whole day. So guys, follow Proud Nurse MJ, go to our YouTube channel, subscribe, binge the TV. Like, relocation journey is just about getting the right information. Absolutely. A lot of people have paid agencies millions of naira, and they're still back home. And that is the reason why I started that channel, honestly, for nurses. That you can do on your own, but just get the right info. Nobody wants to read, nobody wants to watch. You don't want to read, okay, we've turned it to video for you. Just watch it as if you're watching African Magic. And she has vibes, so there's no way you can get bored on her page. Absolutely no way. So guys, please follow Proud Nurse MJ, Proud Nurse MJ TV, and also you can connect with her on Twitter as well. Thank you so much. And some of you saying, bring this. I saw all your comments, and I'm definitely going to bring in more people that will help all of us on this relocation journey. I want to say a big thank you once again, MJ. Thank you so much. We're still going to have you here because we didn't get enough of you. We want more and more and more. And you can see how she detailed everything too. The process of even bringing your defender, meaning there is space for everybody here. Just come in. Thank you so much. She's really smart. Thank you so much. Of course, so easy to be a nurse in the UK. You must have number 6. That's so sweet. Thank you so much, MJ. I appreciate it. And thank you so much, guys, for tuning in. Till I come your way next time, I'm just still your one and only baby girl, Yeti. And have a blessed day, guys. Bye. Bye. Thank you, guys.